In 1952, a U-block rose quietly for Plastic Storm. Back then, it was just a building, modest, local, grounded. But something more was being built beneath the surface. Mindset, a vision. Over time, those corridors echoed with more than just footsteps. They carried languages not native to this land, ideas not born on this soil, and dreams too large to be held within walls. Here, students began to see further than fences, to question more than just their textbooks, to feel a pull, not away from home, but towards a world that somehow felt both foreign and familiar. A U-block is more than brick and cement. It's a symbol of how far a place can take you if you let the world in. And it is the spirit of opening our doors to the world that brings us the very idea of internationalism. But ladies and gentlemen, before we go any further, we must ask ourselves a question. What does internationalism really? Internationalism isn't just a word in a dictionary. Yes, the Cambridge Dictionary may define it as a belief that countries achieve more when they work together. But here, we know it as something much deeper. A mindset, a way of life, a recognition that my future is tied to yours and that no nation thrives in isolation. For Round Square, it is one of the 6 ideals, a call to step beyond our comfort zones, to see the world in its full spectrum of cultures and colors, and to learn to lead in spaces that stretch far beyond our national borders. At Cadet College Assamdal, internationalism means more than just crossing borders. It means expanding our minds and finding unity in diversity. It means learning from the world and stepping forward as global citizens, confident, empathetic, and ready to lead anywhere. Let me be clear, at CSH, we don't just talk about internationalism, we live it. In our classrooms, in our friendships, and on the global stages as representatives of our nation. And the truth is, the spirit is not ours alone. The whole world is moving with it, faster than ever before. The world isn't just changing fast, it's practically running a marathon. Back in the year 2000, only about 2 million students dared to pack their bags and study abroad. Fast forward to 2023, and UNESCO tells us that the number has exploded to more than 6.9 million. That's not just a statistic. That's a tidal wave of young people carrying laptops, dreams, and maybe a few packets of instant noodles across continents. And what happens when they land in new countries? The Erasmus Impact Study 2019, which surveyed over 75,000 students, found that 92% gained stronger intercultural skills and 89% became more confident in languages. But here's the real thing. Beyond the percentages, what truly changes is character. Breaking stereotypes, learning to laugh at awkward handshakes, finding courage in the unknown, and most importantly, discovering that listening before judging works better than Google Translate. And this change isn't just technological. At CCH, we don't just watch this global wave from the shore, we've let it crash right into our daily lives. And that momentum has changed not only where we go, but how we connect every single day. Internationalism no longer waits for visas or travel plans. It is found in inboxes, Google Meets, and breakout rooms. And Cadet College Assamdal stands proudly at the forefront of this digital frontier. For the very first time in our college history, each of us now holds a personal laptop, not just as a tool for academics, but as a gateway to the world. Through these screens, we have hosted and participated in round-scale conferences, represented Pakistan at Harvard MUN, connected with AFS global exchanges, and engaged in countless other events. These are not just competitions or conferences, they are classrooms without borders. And this change isn't just technological, it's intellectual. In 2022, our college introduced global perspectives into both O-level and A-level curriculum. This subject isn't about memorizing facts. It's about challenging assumptions, weighing evidences, and seeing the world through multiple lenses. We dare to ask questions. We investigate global issues like migration, climate change, and media bias. And in doing so, it gives us the confidence to not only form opinions, but to defend them, refine them, and act upon them. It prepares us to step onto the global stage with clarity, conviction, and curiosity. Not just as visitors, but as contributors. Sometimes that stage is no longer virtual, but very real. CCH has proudly sent its students to Kenya and Colombia for answer conferences, and soon will march into Dubai to once again carry Pakistan's flag onto the global stage. But the true milestone came in 2024, and for the first time in our nation's history, Cadet College Hassanabad became the beating heart of internationalism, hosting the very first global Brown Scale Conference in Pakistan. For those unforgettable days, our classrooms turned into crossroads of culture. A mess hall became a table of nations, and our sports grounds transformed into arenas of unity. That was not just an event, that was history in motion. That was a glimpse of the future where Abdalians stand not only as students, but as ambassadors of Pakistan to the world. You may ask, why does this kind of global engagement matter so deeply? Internationalism matters because it unlocks the best within us. It makes us productive, sharpening our skills by exposing us to the finest minds, the boldest ideas, and the most innovative practices the world has to offer. It makes us efficient, teaching us to view challenges not from a single perspective, but from every possible angle, and to craft solutions with clarity, precision, and purpose. And above all, it makes us adaptable, teaching us, preparing us to step onto the global stage with confidence, whether in our classrooms, in our communities, or on the global stage. But let us be clear, internationalism does not dilute who we are. It does not erase our identity. On the contrary, it strengthens it. Because when we step into the wider world, we do not walk as nameless individuals. We walk with pride. We walk as Abdalians. We walk as Pakistanis, carrying our culture, our roots, and our values with us, wherever destiny may take us. After all, internationalism is what shapes us into citizens of the world, without ever letting us forget the soil that gave us life. That transformation is not just theory, it's already happening, right here among us. Now let's pause for a moment, because ahead of us are three different voices, three different perspectives, each offering a unique lens on internationalism. Please.
My tour to Colombia was an eye-opening experience for me. What I actually learned was to listen to different perspectives and respect different opinions. Their cultures, traditions, their way of living, totally different from ours. At first, it felt like a gap, but then I realized that those differences are what help us grow.
My name is Ahmed Zafar, and I'm a student at Stanford studying computer science. I was also part of the 63rd entry Haider wing at Cadet College Hassanabad. For today's morning assembly, I would like to share a few thoughts. So when you come to study abroad, a lot of people say that you'll get to learn from different perspectives and cultures, but what does that really mean? For me, it was mostly trying to understand the world from another person's perspective. For example, one event or one issue could look completely different from one person's eye compared to the other. For example, the Kashmir conflict. A lot of my Indian friends and I really disagree, but we have learned to agree to disagree. And when you try to understand where the other person is coming from, you become more empathetic. And I feel like that perspective is really important, and it helps you grow, and it helps you to question everything around you.
Hello everyone, I'm Zohaib Abbas, your fellow Abdalian from 65th entry. I'm here at Harvard studying biomedical engineering with a secondary in economics. And now, having spent a year over here, I've been able to meet people from over 120 different countries, from every single religion, every single culture you can think of. And what that has taught me is that on the very basic level, regardless of all of these differences on the surface that we have, we're all humans and we're all the same. and the values we share at the very core, the morality we share is the same. And understanding how the world works from all of these different shared experiences that I've learned from many different people that I've met over here have helped me understand my position in the world as a global citizen and not just as a Pakistani or a Muslim. I think being Abdalians, you are exposed to all of these avenues which can give you these same experiences which now I am having over here to prepare you to be better members of society in general and not just limitize your roles and responsibilities with within whatever certain area you are located in. So expand your mindset, expand your approach towards how the world works, and that will help you become a better citizen.
For Asi, it wasn't just about visiting a new country. It was about stepping into older perspectives that reshaped how he saw himself and his place in the world. For Ahmed Zafar, it was about looking at life from different angles and gaining new viewpoints that deepened his sense of global unity. Zohaib took that spirit even further, carrying the values of Hassan Dal into the halls of Harvard, where every classroom became a platform for him to represent where he came from. But wait, I think we're missing something. Oh yes, Tabarak Rahman. He reminds us that internationalism isn't only about where you go or study, it's about what you do with that opportunity. From organizing fundraisers to mobilizing support for global causes, he shows how the Abdalian voice can make real impact far beyond borders. This is how global citizenship begins, not in distant lands, but right here, with the choices we make and the voices we use. But this is only the beginning. The future of Cadet College Hassan Dal stands not in joining global conversations, but in leading them. To truly rise as a global institution, we must embed internationalism deeper into our classrooms, culture, and character. Imagine if future exchanges are routine, where students return from abroad with ideas and friendships that reshape our campus, where our projects, academic, environmental, or humanitarian, are co-led by students across continents. We already have the tools, digital access, international syllabi, and global exposure. Now, we must expand our outreach, deepen partnerships with organizations such as Pioneer Academics, RSI at MIT, RISE, and Lumiere Research Scholar Program to shape students not just ready for the world, but ready to lead it. The path ahead for us in Dar is one of progress, not preservation alone. So I invite you to imagine Earth from space. No borders, no divisions, just one shared destiny. Look at this globe. This is the world we inherit, just one planet shared by all of us. Internationalism reminds us that these lines of divisions, these borders are man-made. What is real is the land, the oceans, and the people. We are not islands, we are bridges. We are connectors, we are ambassadors of a new world where collaboration replaces conflict. As students, we already know how to stand tall, shoulder to shoulder. Internationalism challenges us to stand not just with those here at CCH, but with young people from every corner of this globe. And if we can do that, if we can combine our discipline with diversity, our roots with reach, then the world will not just see us as learners, they will see us as leaders of tomorrow. Thank you.